Yeah, I feel like when you came out, you were kind of coming out in a way where you were speaking to a different audience. Like obviously, all the Mexican people in LA and shit love all the gangster rap that they're used to from LA, but I feel like there's not that many people that are really coming from your perspective, sort of showing that lifestyle. Like and, you know, it was crazy. I was talking to Be Real the other day, and Be Real's like, you know, we were the first Hispanic rap group.
Absolutely.
But I mean, that was 20 years before you came out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, people know that there's an appetite for people that are going to speak accurately about the lifestyle that they grew up in. And do you feel like that, in terms of your original, like early fan base, that's what you built it up on, was like those people who come from the exact same environments as you?
Yeah, you know, I didn't really have an agenda when it came to who it is that I'm going to target. I more or less just dropped the music, told my story, and so I just let it live on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And whatever came back, to be honest with you, I did not think that I was going to be able to get the support from different people in Los Angeles, different colors, different gangs. I didn't know I was going to get any of that. They were just able to identify with my childhood, with the way I came up. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot about how, you know, I was going to school and shit, ditching school. You know what I'm saying, being around the gang environment and what it means to live in a, you know what I'm saying, in a gang-infested area for a young kid. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't giving them the perspective of, you know, I'm a hood-ass motherfucker, come through my block and you gonna get shot. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I was saying.
Because people can tell that that feels fake at a certain point, because if you're an adult, you know, it's tough to be an adult and continue to have that sort of boorish mentality for too long, you know?
Yeah.
You get older and you start realizing that all that shit that you were idealizing in your teens isn't as important as you thought it was, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say it's not important because it makes you who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come from the hood, you lose a couple homies go to jail, you start seeing how people don't give a fuck when homies leave. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing how people don't give a fuck. Hey, you mind if I hit that one time, that blunt? Yeah. Hey, Adam, can we hit that blunt one time?
You can hit whatever you want.
All right,
I was just saying, people used to do coke on this podcast and we didn't think it was a big deal. Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing coke today.
No. We'll get way too crazy, man. I wonder if they would know. I wonder if we had done a bunch of coke before we started this interview, if everybody at home would be like, oh yeah, they're on drugs.
You know what? Trip out on this. I've only smoked weed my whole life. I've never done any other type of drug.
It's a safe bet.
And yeah, I don't recommend for people to be fucking doing them type of drugs anyway. I know you guys listen to, you know, turn up type of music. These young kids want to, you know, get lit and all that shit, but I don't fucking recommend it. I don't recommend it. I say smoke weed, enjoy your life, make some fucking music, and have a bunch of badass bitches around you, and, you know, it can't go wrong.
Oh, it's the good stuff in life. When you were young, were you, you said you weren't in school. What kind of problems were you running into in terms of getting caught up in the system and shit?
I was going through things like, see, the apartments that I lived in when I was coming up, they were infested with a specific gang, and then there was other gangs around there. So, shit, it was hard to even throw away the motherfucking trash, being a young-ass little kid trying to just go outside and hang out. Because everybody's like, you know what I'm saying, this is what it is, you know? I don't want to really speak too much on that, because I feel like whatever is in the streets needs to belong in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever want to come up to no interview trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to press the gangster or nothing like that. Like, but it's definitely hard, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely hard for all the little young homies that do want to do, you know, something else in life.
But if it's dangerous for you to take out the trash, then it's hard to imagine those same people really being able to focus on really making their life better.
Right.
Because they're sort of living in like a permanent state of fear. I interviewed AD from Compton yesterday.
That's a homie. Shout out to him.
Yeah. And he was talking about how as soon as he first started getting money, how he moved to the Valley. And he was talking about walking to Starbucks. And he's like, Adam, he's like, you don't understand the first time that I walked to Starbucks, no gun on me, didn't see anybody looking weird at me, nothing to worry about. And he's like, you don't understand how good that felt. Which is kind of, you know, it is hard for me to imagine that. But I mean, that says a lot about the environment that he's coming from, that to just be able to walk a couple blocks to the store and just be able to live a lifestyle that's chilled out like that. I mean, that means a lot to some people. Yeah,
it definitely means a lot. And I know exactly what he's talking about. It feels great to fucking be able to walk a full block, you know what I'm saying? And And I think things change. Like once you get older, you know what I'm saying, you want to walk down the street with your kids.
Especially that.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to do things for them. So like right now I'm in a situation where I'm just taking care of my kids. I'm a really private person. I do my own shit. I don't, I don't try to collab with a lot of rappers or try to be in other people's business, dissing other people. It ain't really my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't my type of get down. What I really want to do is just live life to the fullest and you know what I'm saying, and make a big impact in this hip hop shit with my name. So
definitely. Tell me about the crew. You got it on your chain, you got it on your hat. Everybody in here got it on their shirt. Tell me about it.
It's a little something that we started a while back and shit, and I can't really speak too much up on it either, but I'm trying to make it into a positive thing, you know what I'm saying? The word sucio means dirty, and it's something that, I'm just turning a negative into a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a dirty environment and grimy motherfuckers around me, so I feel like I was able to make it through. So, now this just reminds me, like, shit, I done put fucking diamonds on the word dirty type shit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that could be something inspiring for all these young kids out here in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Definitely. So, like, the people in this room right now, are these largely people that you grew up around, or how do you form the people that
it's
you're
my
really
family.
working
It's
with?
my family. It's my family. Like, we all somehow one way related to each other. You know what I'm saying? We got ties, strong ties with each other. And I just had really bad experiences bringing in people that are not, we don't have ties with. Like people do not understand the word loyalty. They understand the word convenience. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I guess we all got to deal with. But, you know what I'm saying? I just look at it like if you have the squad like this, you know what I'm saying? Can't nothing go wrong, because when you're dealing with success, like you literally put in your hands and you know what I'm saying? Your life in people's hands. So.
It gets complicated, though, because I feel like when you're trying to really run a business and you're kind of relying on the people that you were just friends with before you came in the game, that a lot of those people end up kind of being not professional, like what you're saying, not understanding loyalty and shit like that. That a lot of times if you just rely on the people that are around you, that you can run into complications, because a lot of people might not necessarily be ready for the sort of things that you're just expecting them to rise to the occasion.
Right. I mean, see, when it comes to that, like, I'm the type of man that likes to make every decision, and I like to be accountable for everything that I do and say, So even the people that are around me, like, I don't look at it like the way other people look at it when they have like a lot of homies around them. I don't utilize my homies for a certain purpose or a certain reason. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like we can be a movement, and we can all change our lives together by these moves that I'm about to make. You know what I'm saying? So, when I have the team with me like this, like shit, I try to have everybody around me working, doing something. You know what I'm saying? Trying to change this shit for positivity, bring something to the table. Let's all make millions type shit, and we could do it. Like, man, I'm self-made like a motherfucker, Adam. I swear to you. Like, I ain't never had nobody fucking give me no type of love or put me on no type of fucking vlogs or none of that shit. Like, I literally had to fight for my position, and I feel like that's good inspiration for my homies. You know what I'm saying? That's good inspiration.
It's crazy to think that, I mean, you're lucky that you came up in the internet age, because if it wasn't for that,
it's impossible.
You could have been the type of dude who, and I've seen it a million times, who signed to a label. The label don't really understand you, so they put you on the shelf and they don't know how to market your shit, and that's kind of the end of the story. But you're in the position where you can like empower yourself by putting your shit on YouTube, and you're able to like prove to everybody out there, like, look, there's 50 million people watch this video. That's an undeniable statistic.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm really fucking happy that I'm able to fucking be in, doing music in these times, because shit, I do remember the times where you needed a radio song. I do remember that. I do remember the times where shit, you ain't even getting in the club if you don't have a button up. I don't know if you remember those times.
No, yeah, I remember that for sure. You actually are a rare person who walked in, I believe, in a Versace shirt and then took it off and put your own merch on.
Yeah, I do that because
that's loyalty.
I do that because, I feel like through here, I'm gonna be public, and I want the kids that are watching me to be able to identify me and still know that I'm a simple man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be on an interview with a Versace shirt so people could say I'm in a Versace shirt. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in a Versace shirt because, shit, I want people that see me in my, you know what I'm saying, in my norm, in my day-to-day to be like, oh, shit, I didn't know he lived like that.
That conversation's been kind of coming up a lot lately in the media world and stuff, is about people supporting designer brands who do absolutely nothing for the community and the people in the community versus people like, you know, I was just seeing them having that conversation on some interview with Dapper Dan, talking about people supporting Gucci versus people supporting, like, why is it not really necessarily considered cool to support local brands owned by the people in the community?
I can't agree with people being against that, because then that means we're having expectations about people we don't even know. You can't expect to buy some Jordans and expect Jordan to do something for you. There's just no way. Like, you don't go buy, like, we've been buying pro clubs our whole fucking life. We don't know who them people are, you know what I'm saying?
But, you know, what's funny is that, like, in the last year, I seen Pro Club do collaborations with Shoreline Mafia. So then all of a sudden, Pro Club is reaching out and doing shit with the exact type of people that were buying Pro Clubs
and that's
in the
great.
first place.
And that's great, but I don't think that's something that we should expect. You know what I'm saying? If they were able to do that, that's an accomplishment to them. You know what I'm saying? That's great. But we can't say, oh, we can't buy that shit because they're not doing nothing for it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. Like, I don't think that's a good way to look at it. I think those are negative vibes right there. I think once you accomplish shit, you know what I'm saying, let people that are accomplishing things, you know, because we don't know what Versace had to go through for them to be in the position they're in today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know that part. Like, it's been so many years since they've been out. Like, you can't expect, you know what I'm saying? You can't expect people to do things for you. You got to be your own man. And like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier. You got to be making decisions that really represent yourself. Like, you got to be accountable for yourself. If you go and buy some shit, like, nobody has to do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I mean, it's crazy when you think about, like, I remember hearing some crazy numbers saying that Nipsey's store has sold whatever, like $2 million worth of shit since he passed, which is amazing. Yeah, but it also makes me kind of think, like, why is there got to be a tragedy for all these people to realize that they should be supporting something like what Nipsey was doing, in terms of, like, you could go buy a T-shirt from somebody like you. I'm sure you got some stores that have that shit. You can go to your online store and buy that shit. You could go buy something from Nipsey, his store directly. It's like, I mean, I think it's important that we at least put that message out there, is that, yeah, your dollars that you have in your pocket are your votes to a certain extent. And if you support people that are in the community doing stuff and help to put bread in somebody like you's pockets, like, you know, that ultimately yields better results.
You know, it does give better results, but I'm just against telling people what they should do and what they should not do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like giving our opinions and something like that, like, that's us trying to run people's lives and shit. And I couldn't imagine if people try to, you know, say, oh, King Lil G came up, you know, he better be doing this for these people or some shit. Or if you buy King Lil G merch, he better be fucking, you know, like, it can't be like that, Adam. Like, I just don't see a reason why we should put conditions and rules on the way people should live their lives. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, the message is great. Shout out to all the brands that do things for the community. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of things for the community too, but it ain't because people are buying my shit. I'm just doing it out of my heart, because I remember being and you know what I'm saying, sleeping on the floor, not having shit. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like for the roaches to crawl out the fucking cereal. Like, I know that. That's the reason why I do it.
Are you still in touch with that, like, what you came from? Because I think that's what's important, is that if you're staying in a nice place and feeling like your life is luxurious, it's like, can you still remember the struggles that you went through? Because a lot of people, and that's one thing I hate about rich people in general, is that when you meet somebody and they got a fucking $250,000 car and they go to sleep in a mansion at night, but you can tell that they didn't really have to work for any of that, and that they don't really comprehend the fact that the situation that they're in is amazing. I don't fucking relate to that. And it really, you know, it's just like, it's a weird vibe to be around versus being around somebody like you, where I could tell, yeah, you're having things and you're comfortable in your lifestyle, but you also know how important it was to get to that point because you didn't come from that.
Man, I will say that you can definitely change the mind of a young child that's coming from a crazy environment if you do positive shit. Definitely. You know, I encourage all artists to do that. You know, it's really crazy because, like, in the hood, I know, like, a lot of kids, you know, they'll expect me to act reckless and shit when they see me in the hood or when they catch me anywhere, you know what I'm saying, in those environments. And they get really surprised when every conversation I have with them is about bettering themselves. And I man, I always tell people to not allow other people to try to run your life. If a gangster ass motherfucker saying everybody need to keep it gangster in this bitch, that's cool and all, but he's trying to run somebody else's program. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's really hard for kids to understand. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know, the pressure, especially the pressure being in the hood, like I know, but you got to put your foot down because shit, that's how I was able to make it through, Adam, by not allowing motherfuckers to tell me what I could and what I could not do. I swear, because in the hood, people are like, yo, why you making these type of songs? Why you ain't doing songs with homies that are from the hood, specifically the hood? But it's like, I didn't get into making this music so other people could tell me who I need to collab with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, back to what you were saying. Yeah, I try to stay in touch with the hood by, you know, for one, it's like when you come from the hood, it's like you have so many siblings and fucking homies and, you know, situations going on. You always go back. I mean, I just feel like that, unless you move to like another state or some shit.
Right.
And I definitely do identify, man. I fucking trip out when, you know, I'm at the light and randomly I see like some young teenagers coming to wipe my shit. And then I'm like, man, the homies are fucking, I was like, man, I remember being in Mexico and selling newspaper, because that's where I was born at.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah. Selling newspaper in front of the Mexico City Angel, the one that's in downtown LA. I mean, in downtown Mexico City. And it was a struggle, and that shit will always remind me of that. Like, a lot of people don't know that. This is the first time I talk about some shit like that, too.
Of growing up there?
Of growing up in Mexico and having to grind like that. Hell yeah, I come from a very, very poor family. Shit, I always make a joke to all my homies, and I tell them, like, shit, me and my family were the first vegans in this motherfucker. We only rice and beans.
Right now?
No.
Oh, before.
No,
we were the
before.
first vegans. Okay.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but real shit. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing else. Like, if you in Mexico, where I come from, shit, it's so hard. You want to make a couple cents, go sell Jello.
Really?
Yeah.
Just any possible hustle.
Go sell Jello, fucking fruit, just fucking anything. Anything you could add a little spicy, little chili sauce to it.
Right.
Straight up. But yeah, my struggle definitely, man, comes from the slums, from coming from nothing. So, shit, I know what it is. But what I could say is really effective is keeping it real with the little youngsters and, you know, not teaching them that whoever's making the most mistakes in the hood should be the most respected.
Right, because that is how it is.
Right.